Hello, dear students. Today we'll study Unit 1 in our Macmillan book. The title of this unit is Professor Inkspot's Telescope. First, let's watch a video related to our lesson before we start. Did you hear that bang?
Will it fizz or will it bang? The regular chemistry conundrum, as posed by Dr. John P. Kilcoyne, Principal Lecturer at the University of Sunderland.
Can everybody see this guy? He's a professor.
What has Dr. Kilcoyne got in his shed today?
Hydrogen peroxide, potassium iodide.
He's going to carry out an experiment inside of his shed.
The answer coming up after the break.
Is it going to fizz or bang? Let's watch.
Dr. John Kilcoyne of the University of Sunderland posed the question, hydrogen
He's adding the chemicals.
potassium iodide. Will it fizz or will it bang?
Can everybody see?
The answer, it fizzes. When hydrogen peroxide mixes with potassium iodide, it oxidizes it rapidly. This creates a lot of heat, a lot of steam, and a considerable amount of fizzing foam.
Can everybody see the foam fizzing?
What a great fizz!
Nice one.
Now let's move on. Macmillan Unit 1, Professor Inkspot's Telescope. This is a professor. This is a shed. It's like a small hut. Billy woke up at 6:30. Can everybody see Billy waking up? Fizz, pop. He heard loud sounds. Fizz, pop, bang. He ran to Professor Inkspot's shed, and there he saw a strange machine. The professor said it's an interactive space telescope. Can everybody see the space telescope? Can everybody see the professor and Billy? Now this is what the interactive telescope looked like. It had lots of parts. Let's see. It has many red buttons, round dials, switches, a handle, and a big screen. Now let's all listen to the lesson.
Track 4, Unit 1. Professor Inkspot's Telescope. Bang! Billy woke up with a start. He looked at the clock. It was 6:30. Bang! Billy jumped out of bed and ran to the window. Next door, he could see Professor Inkspot's shed. There was a small cloud of blue smoke above the shed. Billy saw a green flashing light. Fizz, pop, bang! The light changed to red. Billy got dressed quickly and ran round to Professor Inkspot's shed.
Billy woke up after hearing loud noises. He ran to the shed next door to see if Professor Inkspot was all right.
"Are you there, Professor?" he shouted. A strange whirring sound began. A bell rang and an orange light turned to green. "It works!" a voice exclaimed. "Professor," Billy called, "is that you?" "Of course it's me," said the voice. "Come in, Billy, come in." Billy stepped slowly forwards and went inside.
Okay, now Billy asked if the professor was okay, and the professor invited him inside.
Professor Inkspot stood next to a strange machine. On the front were 4 large dials with numbers. Below the dials were several bright red buttons. In the middle was a square screen. Beside the screen was a handle. Under the screen was a row of switches.
Now let's see how the machine looked like. It had 4 large dials with numbers. It had several bright red buttons. In the middle, it had a square screen, and there was a handle beside the screen, and under the screen was a row of switches.
"What is it?" Billy asked. "It's an interactive space telescope," replied the professor. "It shows you what is happening in space. Do you want to see it work?" "Yes, please," said Billy. "Look here," said the professor. "You turn this and press these and pull those upwards." For several minutes the professor was busy. His hands moved quickly over the machine. Billy waited quietly and watched. At last the professor turned round. "It's ready," he said.
The professor told Billy that it was an interactive space telescope and offered to show him how it worked. This is how the machine looked like. Let's listen again.
Professor Inkspot pulled the handle downwards. A red light came on. He turned a dial. It clicked noisily. Then there was a loud buzzing sound. Billy jumped backwards. "Don't worry," shouted the professor. "Look at the screen."
This machine was very noisy. Billy was worried.
Billy saw small people in spacesuits. There were trees, but they were blue and yellow. The sky was bright pink. It was another planet. The professor pointed to a tree. "Watch this," he said. He pushed a button. Suddenly the tree filled the screen. Billy saw a very strange silver bird in it. "Let's look at the people," said the professor. "Press that switch." Billy pressed. At once, the people on the screen were big.
Now Billy saw on the machine small people in suitcases. He saw trees which were blue and yellow, and the sky was bright pink. It was definitely another planet. The tree had a very strange silver bird in it.
Billy gasped. "I know those people," he said. "What?" said the professor in surprise. "Yes," said Billy. "Those are the people in my favorite TV program, Adventures in Space. This isn't an interactive telescope, Professor. It's an interactive TV."
Now let's see. These are the new words we're going to study in this unit. Shed, small house. Telescope, tools to see the stars. Smoke, a gas. Professor, a button. Machine. A hood, dress for kids. Wood, foot, the singular of feet. Screen, handle. A surprise. Yesterday my dad made a party for me. I didn't know about it. It was a surprise. Noise, loud sounds. A switch. A spacesuit. Now let's read the summary for this unit. Billy woke up at 6:30. He jumped out of bed because he heard a loud sound. Billy looked out of his bedroom window and saw a cloud of blue smoke over Professor Inkspot's shed. He went into the shed. Billy saw the professor next to a strange machine. Professor Inkspot said, "It's an interactive space telescope." Thank you for listening.